Let's stop making excuses for failure. This is what this episode of the Earl Hall Show is all about. We're going to talk about it right after this. Business owners that want a professional commercial created for the product or service you sell, listen up. At Earl Hall Studio LLC, we have created commercials and voiceover for companies like HP, HUD, smartphone apps, and more. You can even hear our commercials on ABC News. Would you like an affordable commercial created in our award-winning production studio? Visit us now and get a free quote for your needs at www.earlhallstudio.com. earlhallstudio.com. All right, everyone, welcome into the live broadcast, the first live broadcast officially for the Earl Hall Show. Want to make sure that you do visit the website, www.theearlhallshow.com. We've got some great things there, but I'm going to tell you what, if you want every link that I have, if you want to know all that I do and all that is important to me, I want you to visit the site www.earlhall.co. It's earlhall.co. There you can find everything. You can find out everything about me and what it is that I'm doing and what it is that I'm into and getting into and the whole nine yards. With all of that, officially as of today, we are on Alexa as well. You can simply say, Alexa, ask Spreaker to play the Earl Hall Show. And guess what? It's going to play it for you. Look, we've got this live show coming to you every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. On the East Coast, and 8 a.m. on the West Coast. If you want to be able to participate in the live show with me in chat, make sure you go to theearlhallshow.com, and you'll see the player there. If it says live, it means I'm live, and you can hit the little chat bubble or the comment bubble and be able to speak directly to me. Well, today's show, and I'm sure you saw in the title, Stop Making Excuses for Failure. That's what we want to talk about today. So many times, whether we're talking about your business life, your personal life, whatever it is, it seems like we always want to blame someone else for what it is that's not working in our lives. If it's our business, we want to blame someone else that's not, doing what they're supposed to do. We want to blame our boss. We want to blame our coworkers. We want to blame our employees even. For, let me not mention the husbands and wives and the kids and the parents and the whole nine with that, right? When you can start taking, and let me just tell you this, because this isn't an easy topic to kind of digest, right? It's not an easy thing to, look at your life. And if you consider it at this point in your life to be failing, let me just let you know that you can turn that around. This is not something that's insurmountable. This is something that you can actually take charge of, you can take control of, and turn this thing around and start actually creating the life that you want. So do you want to know what the secret is? I'm going to tell you probably the biggest thing that will impact what it is that you do to start creating success in whatever area of life you want to create that in. Doesn't matter. If you want to create success, you've got to start taking 100% responsibility for your results, because that's where it lies. I've said so many times before, look, we've got to really start looking in the mirror, because that is the person that is responsible. Hey, Cyrus, I see you in chat. Thanks so much for tuning in, buddy. Oh my gosh. The person in the mirror is the person responsible. It's not anything or anyone else, because let me just tell you this. Everything that's going on in your life, it was your decision to engage with it, to do it, to buy it, to trust it, or whatever. That was your decision. It was my decision in every success or failure that I've had. I've told a story before. I was the head of owner, I should say, of an engineering firm here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. One of our biggest clients at the time was Harley Davidson. This is going all the way back to 2000. And I started this company on my kitchen table, and then I had investors that wanted to get involved with what I was doing and all of that. And I accepted that. They were throwing money at me. I accepted the money. Well, it came around time where they wanted to bring some more people into the company. I was an owner and also the chief operating officer of the company, the COO. They wanted to bring some folks in. I said no, but they controlled because they had the money. The person with the money is in control. Well, that business failed. And I told them that this was not a good move. I knew that this was not a good move, but they decided to do it anyway. I went through years of depression behind that. Years. Didn't even realize I was in depression, but I was. But it was my decision to do that. So I could sit around till today and blaming that one of the people they bought in was an alcoholic, that another person that they bought in had huge tax and suicidal issues and things of that nature. But it was my decision to do what I did. So I had to learn, instead of blaming that machine or blaming the people that gave me the money or blaming the people that I felt like destroyed the company, it was my decision. And when I took 100% ownership of that it was my decision. If I look at my failed marriages, it was my decision. We've got to stop looking at the other person or people or situations and really take stock in ourselves. And if you can take 100% responsibility for your success as well as your failure, things will definitely start changing, especially on a mental and an emotional level, probably also on a spiritual level as well, because now you've actually taken control. You've actually taken 100% control of your life and of every situation. And you can look at every success and failure and either say, well, that was a bad decision. Let's not do that again. Or the success, oh my gosh, can't believe I did that. It's all on you. It's all on you. And see, here's the thing too, especially when we're talking about business owners and things of that nature. Are you actually executing or are you just busy? Are you just pretending like you're actually doing a lot of work? Not even pretending. You're actually doing a lot of work, but are you executing on things? It's, as a business coach myself, I see this every day, and it's one of the most frustrating things where people come to you for advice or they want to purchase a program or they want to, get coached by you one-on-one or something like that. And you give them your heart and soul, everything that they're going to need, but they don't execute on it. They don't go all in, and they look to do all these little things that make them think they're actually doing something. Like I'm a big proponent, obviously, of podcasting and doing shows like this to promote what it is that you do for your product, service, whatever it is that you offer. Well, if you want to create a podcast, and I'll ask this question of people, I'll use this example. They say they want to start a podcast or they say they want to start a business or whatever. Okay, when? When do you want to do this? And I have a tendency to always ask the question, what's your priority here? Are we talking 3 months from now, a year from now? What are we talking? Well, I want to go ahead and get started now. Okay, so you've picked your podcast platform. You know what it's going to be on. When are you going to start your podcast? When are you going to start your business? And I hear crickets. Do you know it only takes as long as it takes you to execute on it? If we're talking about something as simple as a podcast, you can do that now. You can do that by the end of the day. You really can. Who was it? Henry Ford, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. Was that Henry Ford or was that someone else? I don't know. But you've heard the quote. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It is so vital that you have a belief, because if you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to do it. And that's going to, that right there, if you don't believe that you can do it, you are not going to do it. All right, so this is going to lead into, I'm going to take a little break here. And when we come back from the break, I'm going to go deeper into that. about your belief in yourself and belief in what it is that you believe you can or cannot do. Make sure you do visit the website, www.theearlhallshow.com. You can check out all of my links everywhere. See everything that I do just by going to www.earlhall.co. It's earlhall.co. Check it out right now. We're going to be back right after this short break. Stop listening to others and start listening to the best part of you. I know, probably just like me, you have sought answers and guidance from mentors, gurus, and coaches. The problem for you has probably been that you have found some success with that approach, but nothing earth-shattering. Here's the thing. If you want a better business, a better relationship, a better life, then how can anyone else actually give that to you? Why do you think that the answers to what you want are inside of someone else? They aren't. You and only you are the key to living your best life. Get the book, Transcend: How to Truly Connect with God and Create the Life You Want by Dr. Earl B. Hall. Available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. Are you an author or a publisher? Do you have a professional book trailer to promote your books? A professional book trailer video can be just what you need to tell the story of your book in less than 60 seconds, just like a movie trailer. See examples and get yours today at www.probookpromo.com. probookpromo.com. All right, thanks for keeping it locked right here on The Earl Hall Show, our very first episode for the relaunch of this amazing program. Love coming to you guys live. Also, make sure that you do subscribe to the podcast by going to www.theearlhallshow.com. You can subscribe to us on, we're on Alexa, we're on iTunes, we're on Apple Podcast, we're everywhere. You can even grab the RSS feed and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform right there as well. Get all the information on yours truly, Earl Hall, by simply going to www.earlhall.co. That's earlhall.co. Look, before we went to break, I was talking about belief in yourself. Belief, having a firm belief that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. And so many times people don't have that strong belief that they're going to succeed. They go into it with trepidation. They go into it with anxiety. They go into it with not thinking they're good enough. I've had this saying for years now: stop waiting for permission to be great. You don't need permission from anyone to do what it is that you actually want to do. Now, you may know that on a mental level, on a brain level, but on an emotional level, we seek acceptance. We seek approval from other people. We talk about our ideas and the things that we want to do. And if people don't immediately jump to them or gravitate to them or give us an attaboy or attagirl or kudos, we can sometimes back up from that. Here's the thing about that. When you sit back and you're waiting for someone else to kind of give you a thumbs up that you should go ahead and do something, you're giving away all of your control and probably a bunch of your inspiration as well. Because why would you have had that idea in many cases without some sort of inspiration? And a lot of the things that we do are inspired. We're inspired to do the things that we do. What you have to firmly understand is that the dream or the goal that you have is no one else's dream or goal. It's not your spouse. It's not your parents. It's not your siblings, your friends, your coworkers, your family. It's not their dream. It's not their goal. And in so many cases, especially if you're really aiming high, that's back from my Air Force days, when you're really aiming high, The people that you want to share your dream with don't even understand. They can't conceive of it. They've never done it. They've never attempted to do it. And what happens is when we share our dreams and our goals with people that don't want to excel or have not excelled very far within their own lives, they really, in many cases, don't want to see you go above where they are. Anybody can stand you being at their same level. But if you have the audacity to raise your head up above the crowd, if you have the audacity to aim for something that no one else in your family has aimed for, there's going to be trouble in many cases. I can give you a perfect example. This just came to mind. My own father. My father was raised on the farm. He just turned 71 years old. So he was raised up in the country. Both of my parents were, and they were raised on farms. Well, my father's father, my grandfather, had a big farm, and all of the kids participated on the farm. And as my father was graduating high school, well, my grandfather expected all of his kids to stay on the farm and work the farm. That's what he expected. My father decided he was going to go to college because he wanted more. When you talk about someone being furious with that decision, it's not even strong enough. My grandfather was furious with my father. Furious enough to send him away to college with a pair of pants, 2 shirts, and a pair of shoes. That's how furious he was. Nobody in the family understood why he wanted to leave the farm. I mean, nobody had ever left. And my father, all of his brothers have passed away, but he had 4 brothers and he still has 2 living sisters. And my father is the youngest boy, and the 2 sisters that are still alive are the youngest girl and the oldest girl. The oldest, actually, in the family is a female. To date, so many people in my family give credit to my father for their children going to college because of what my father did, because he pursued his dream. And so many times when you don't pursue your dream, you actually halt other people because they're looking for an example. Be that example. You've heard the expression, be the change you want to see. Be the example of the person you want to be. What is the highest expression of yourself that you can be today? And even though my grandfather was furious with that and a bunch of other things that my father did growing up, I mean, my grandfather gave him land. My father gave it away to one of his nephews because he didn't need it. He became very self-sufficient. He went on to get a master's degree in agriculture, of all things, but became a regional senior vice president of a very large bank that gave loans to farmers all over the country. He moved us from Virginia to Maryland when I was 11. That was another issue. No one's ever moved away. Why are you moving away? I mean, come on, it was only 2.5 hour drive. But going for what it is that you want, you can best believe that there are going to be people that don't want to see you go there. And those are the people that you really can't worry about. You can't get all caught up in what it is that someone else is thinking about what it is that you're doing because they don't understand. In many cases, they can't. It's your dream. And when you're scared of other people's opinions, when you're scared of what they'll think about what it is that you're doing, here's the thing. Many people don't pursue their dreams because they are scared of someone else's opinion. They're scared that they're going to call them crazy or that they're going to be laughed at or that they're not going to be accepted, in the family, i.e. my father. And here's the thing. You want to know the kicker? I told you the story earlier about the engineering firm that I had started. And I started that on my kitchen table at the ripe old age of 27 and became very successful at what I was doing. And I had a job and I quit that job before I started my company. And I knew that I had to call my father and tell him what I was planning on doing. Even though at the time I was living in Milwaukee, he was all the way back in Maryland. But I was actually scared of what he was going to say. The kicker behind that is that because of the things that my father had went through with his father, I'll never forget when I was in my teens, my father said, have a mind to have your own. And I took that to mean whatever it meant, and that's why I became an entrepreneur at a very early age. But I called my father up scared, thinking he was going to say, you've got a family now. I just had my first daughter, and it's like, you've got a family now. You've got responsibilities. You've got things to do. I told him what I was going to do. My father said, go for it. Go for it. Now, what if he had not said that? I think back to that time, almost 25 years ago at this point. I think back on that time and I wonder if he would have said, no, don't do it, if I would have had the fortitude to pursue what I wanted to pursue. I really think about that. And so if you're in a situation right now where you're wondering if you should do something or not, I'm going to just tell you this. Trust your gut. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the all-new Earl Hall Show. Make sure you do visit the website, www.theearlhallshow.com. Also, check out my amazing link. Thanks to Cyrus Webb, I figured out how to do this morning. Make sure you go to www.earlhall.co. That's earlhall.co, and you can stay up to date with everything that I'm doing. There's even a link there that you can click to stay in touch, subscribe to, just follow me, and you'll get some pennies that will be coming down the road. Tomorrow, we've got a great show coming up for you. I'm with you Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. And I want to thank you for being a part of the Earl Hall Show. Make sure that you do subscribe to the podcast. It is podcasted everywhere, even on Alexa. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you.
My name is Earl, and I'm the author of Align with Your Purpose, available on Amazon.com. What would happen to your life if you were actually walking in your purpose? Nothing you will ever do in life is more important than walking in your purpose. It is time to break some of the rules and finally live the life of greatness you were meant for. Get Align with Your Purpose now, available on Amazon.com.